Hi, my name is Vansh Luthra and I'm 19 years old and I run Mango Finds with my good friend and business partner Mokshit. And it's been about 2 years since we started Mango Finds. And when we started, we worked with cafes and restaurants for like a month or two, and then we moved to real estate marketing and we spent about a year in that space and we learned a lot actually in that space. And after that we moved on to short form content. We spent about a couple of months there, and then we finally came to podcast post production, where we've had the most success. But right now our company is a little stuck up on a certain revenue, and this is just a progress video which I'm sharing with you guys because I want to share my real journey with you, and I want to share my vulnerability with you, that we have been sort of stuck at a revenue for the last 3 months, which is not a long time, but it's a pretty damn long time when you're putting in effort. And our eventual next target is $20,000 per month MRR. The hard part is getting more clients, servicing them, and the biggest thing is the client retention part, because that's the most important thing. And the main reason I'm making this video is to share an update with you guys that the business I'm running is not as smooth as some of you would think. There are issues, there are problems which we have to deal with on a daily basis, and we solve one problem, another comes. But while doing that for so many months, we've learned a lot. Like, some of the lessons we've learned, being brutally honest with you guys, is number one is, if you pay more for an A player, it's completely worth it. For example, if one guy in your team is underperforming and increasing the stress, increasing mistakes in your client's work, in your work, then it's completely fine to replace him with a better person whom you will have to maybe pay 25% or 50% more. But it's completely worth it if they're taking your tensions away and if they're making clients work smoother. And we've learned this the hard way, I would say. But now that's clear. And now the main bottleneck is acquiring more clients and not losing the previous ones. And we have been pretty successful with not losing the previous ones because our client retention is pretty good overall, like across all clients. Yes, some clients sometimes have problems, but we tend to solve them. And honestly, we just want to give the best results to our clients, and that's our whole purpose. And the main thing that I'm not reaching for 50k, which is like a 10x thing, is because I know it's a hard process, because it's not just about earning more money or having more clients. It's also about creating better and bigger systems, because handling 3 clients or 4 clients and handling 10 to 12 clients is a very different game. I don't think we would need 12 clients to hit 20k. We'll probably do it within 7 to 8 clients, but still, even if you're handling 8 clients, the systems would be a lot more different. And being honest with you, the plan is pretty much simple. We need a couple more clients at 2 to 3k each. And one of the reasons I'm making this video, other than sharing my progress, is also that I want to show you guys the real journey. I want to show you live when we close clients, and I also want to show you our failures, which I'm going to show you very soon. When we email clients, when we send them our looms, when we send them our proposals, and sometimes they reject us, because I've seen this a lot in the agency space or in the online money space, or you could say the internet money space, that everyone tries their best to show you the effortless version of themselves, which is not true at all. Nobody's doing it effortlessly. Yes, some people have been successful. Yes, they are doing it effortlessly now, but there was a time when they were struggling a lot, and there was a time when they were stuck, like we are stuck right now. But I want to change that. I want to show you the real journey, and I want to share the real success with you guys when we do achieve that 20k MRR per month, and we do become like a 240k per year company in India, operating from India, a remote company. And I would love to do that, and I would love to show you that. And I think that's about it. We have a process on how we'll do that, and I'm going to go deep in that in this video itself. And this is just episode 1 of 20k MRR, where I'll just be showing you guys what my plan is and what we've done so far and what we want to do in the future. And the plan is simple. We're going to target 2 to 3 niches. We have email templates ready, we have follow-up sequences, we have Loom video scripts, everything ready. And what we'll do is we'll do hyper personalized emails, and we've already started doing that. Our campaign is already running, but our email reply rate is pretty good right now. It's about 11.5%. But the main problem is that after that, the conversion to meeting from the Loom video is pretty low right now. That's the main bottleneck right now. And If you are into this space, you would know exactly what I'm talking about, and that's something what we need to improve on. And if I look at all the leads we have emailed so far since the start of our journey in podcast post production, then you could say we close one client out of every, you could say, 150 to 200 emails we do. Because when you do 100 emails, you get maybe, let's say, 10 to 11 replies. Because in our agency, like when we do about 100 emails, we get about 10 to 11 replies, because all of those are qualified. And out of those 10 to 11 replies, sometimes you could say like 8 to 9, or maybe let's say 8 replies would be positive. Then we send the Loom video to 8 of those people who've replied to us. And then those people, when they've seen the Looms, they've seen the proposal, then they book the meetings. Now the bottleneck is where we are sending the Looms out, but the meeting is not getting booked, because maybe they're not liking something in the Loom video. Maybe Looms are getting a bit old fashioned, maybe it's too much effort for them. Because I heard from one of my mentors, or you could say another guy in the agency space or in the internet money space, who is doing a lot more than us actually. So what he told me was that Looms are getting a bit old fashioned now, because you're putting in a little bit too much effort into just a guy's proposal, just a client's proposal, because they might think or assume that you are clientless, or you could say free. And that is the reason that you're putting so much effort in making a presentation or a Loom video for the client. And I understood that point, and I would love to A/B test soon in the emails, where I'll send out Loom to 50% of emails, 50% of the leads, and the other 50% will change the email sequence, will change the follow-up, will change everything, and will send them something else, like an email reply or an email plan, which is something completely different, of course. And that was about it, I think so, for episode 1. From episode 2, I'll actually start showing you the journey. I'll actually start showing you the lead lists, how we operate, what we send, what softwares we use, how the process is, and I'll basically document everything. And I'll also show you us live closing clients and being on client calls. And even if we don't close some clients, I'll show you those calls as well, because I do not want to create a perception of effortlessness, because that's just misguiding people. Because if you don't show people how much effort it takes and how much failures it takes, then they sort of underestimate everything, because then they think it's super easy. I'll just get into this space and, achieve everything, make a lot of money, and just have a great life. And it doesn't work that way. Because simply put, a lot of people online in the internet space do not show you their failures. They just show you the effortless journey to Bali or to some other country like Japan or whatever nation, whatever vacation or workcation, or they'll show you them buying Rolex or driving a McLaren or some other bullshit. And I'm not into that stuff. Even if I have the money to buy a Rolex or to buy a car, I would not want to show you that, hey, I earned this much money, I bought a Rolex, I bought a McLaren. I think that's shallow stuff. And if you genuinely want material stuff, then good for you, but I just don't give a shit about that anymore. The real thing I give a shit about is improving myself, my physical well-being, my mental well-being, having 3 times of freedom, which is financial, time, and location. That's the number 1 thing. And third is just living a great life, living a fulfilled life. And believe me, material stuff doesn't give you fulfillment, and anything external does not give you fulfillment. The things which give you fulfillment is actually very different. Like for me personally, right now I'm very fat, you could say. I've already lost around 9 to 10 kgs, and I need to lose about 15 to 20 kgs more to actually get to an optimal weight where I'll look good, I'll be in shape, you could say. And I'm also being honest about that. Like I started going to the gym about 3 months ago, and since then I've lost about 10 kilos, you could say. The progress has been great. I've been eating healthy, so I've been feeling better. And that's something that gives me a lot of fulfillment, because I worked on my body, I changed my diet, I feel better now. I have lost a decent amount of weight. I have to lose more. Of course, I have to gain a lot of muscle to actually have a really strong body, have a lot more strength. And yeah, I think that's the thing about me and about my life, that's what I love, that gives me fulfillment, because working on yourself gives you a sort of joy where you feel like, holy shit, this was all me. I did this, like, I actually achieved this by myself on my own. Nobody helped me, nobody held my hand, nobody even guided me, of course, other than my gym trainer. He's a pretty good guy and he guides me through my training sessions and everything, and he's been like there pushing me to, you know, more reps, harder workouts, more cardio, more hit, more everything. But yeah, like, what I mean to say is, like, material stuff I don't want to show you even if I buy stuff, because it's very shallow to me. Yes, I might show you some cool b-rolls or aesthetics a few times when I get fit, but yeah, other than that, I don't think I want to show you anything. Like me buying a Rolex, me buying a car, I think that's very shallow, because ultimately when you do get to a point where you can afford that stuff, you eventually get to know that this stuff actually means absolutely nothing, you know. And yeah, I think that's about it for today. I shared my agency situation with you. I shared what I've been doing with my life, my fitness journey, and I have been having some other thoughts as well, which I don't want to share here. And I honestly haven't shared with any of my family or my friends or literally anyone. And being honest, I don't want to share because it's very personal, like way too personal. Like sometimes I can't even look in the mirror when I think about those things. Like, it's not something deep, but it's sort of insecurities, anxieties, bullshit like that. But I think with time, when you're improving yourself, that stuff eventually goes away. When you prove yourself to yourself, because ultimately that's what matters. Because confidence stems from you believing in you. Because when you get to know that you can do shit, you can achieve shit, you can do what you say, you will do what you say, that's when confidence builds itself in you. And I think that's something I've been trying to do for a very long time, and I'm finally at a stage where, even though I've not gotten the results I want, but I am still working a lot more than before. I wouldn't say I'm working at my 100% capacity, but I've improved a lot from before, and I'm kind of, you could say, proud of that, even though I haven't achieved anything substantial yet, or what I would call substantial yet, you know. And I think that's about it for this video. I think I've overshared a little bit, but yeah, that's about it. And I love talking with you guys, and it's a heart-to-heart video. I mean, I do care if it gets views or not, of course, but I would be lying if I didn't. But I don't think it will, because it's a very heart-to-heart video, and I probably won't get a heavy edit on this video or like a crazy packaging on this. I would just want to label this as episode 1 of my sort of vlog kind of series, or my agency 20k MRR series, which I'm going to launch soon, where I'll show you live when I'll be hitting 20k MRR, including the failures, including the client calls, including everything, Discord calls, team every single thing, client meetings, client check-ins, like all of it. I want to share all of it with you, because I think that's what real education is. If I just show you the successes, I don't think that would mean anything, because ultimately what's valuable in life is failures and wins, not just wins. Because if I just show you that, then you'll be way too positive, and I think you should be optimistic, but still go into it with a vision of, I might fail and I might win. But I would say the best way to work hard is by detaching yourself from the work. Like, the work I'm doing is an external thing, it's not me. Like, if you fail, don't blame yourself, but do work on yourself. And I do think that some people might take this the wrong way, but it will take a long time for you to understand this, that detaching yourself from the work you're doing is very important. Because ultimately, when you fail too many times in a row, you start doubting yourself, but it's actually just a version of yourself who doesn't know what to do to win, and you can't really blame yourself for that. And yeah, I think that's about it. I love to share these thoughts with you, and I think that's about it for this video. I've tried to end this video 5 times, but I just have more to share to the camera. But I think that's about it. Thank you for watching, and thank you for giving me a valuable time, and I hope to see you soon with 20k MRR for Mango Finds by the end of 2026. Hopefully more, actually, you know. Why not? Bye. I'll see you soon.